Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to SimTrack Broadcasting. We are coming just to the end here of qualifying for the USORL League. Guys are locking and loading here on the track here at Chicagoland. Joining alongside me tonight will be Douglas Ross for this intensive race that these guys are looking at to get ready to kick it off here at Chicagoland Speedway for the Nickelodeon 200. Right now, we are getting ready to get under a warm-up here. These guys are going to try to lay down just a little more rubber on the track here before we get underway, and it should be going very well, and I'm excited to see how this race is going to turn out. You know, Douglas, when we take a look at some of these guys out here and how they're racing, you know, it makes you question sometimes how well the race is going to go at the end, whether the qualifying spot is going to be enough to win this race or if this is going to be all based on pit strategy.
It could be a combination of both, most definitely. And pit strategy is definitely going to be coming into play tonight, as Chicagoland is one of those tracks where strategy can come into play. But as of right now, the qualifying is a little underway. It looks like Cal Lovell will be our pole sitter tonight. But just because you're the pole sitter, that doesn't mean you're sitting in the best position out of the bunch.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and take a look while we got the moment here to take a look at our qualifying positions here and see how everybody did out there. You were right, Cal Lovell getting out in front, but just barely, only by 12 thousandths of a second. Kerry Rogers and William Page, very close. Talk about, less than a tenth of a second for everybody here in the top five. That is extremely close, so Cal might be thanking his lucky stars here for how his race is already going to be starting here tonight, which I would say that is pretty sketchy there. I would say, you know, if you're out there qualifying, you do want to qualify a little faster than everybody else. But these guys may or may not be right next to each other here. And it's going to be extremely, extremely difficult to see if they're going to be able to manage to make it all the way to the end, whether they are or not. I'm not 100% sure if that is going to be enough for Cal to stay out front and come away with a win here tonight. Now, as tough as he's given it here, it just doesn't seem enough. Cal has won this race once before, back in Season 6, so he does have the possibility of doing it. Another driver here we're trying to find to see if he is out there. Davey Hazard does not look like he is taken behind the wheel tonight, which is a heartbreaker, as he is a two-time winner here at this track, and I'm not seeing any redos here of guys who may have made it. You know, Garrett Sidnor, John Poole, Jeff Dixon, or Noah Joyce. I don't see those guys out here to come out for Chicagoland and see if they can give it another run and possibly yet another win.
Most definitely, and with these guys missing out of action, it is definitely going to cost them in the points. But we are still really early into the points season, because I think we just started not too long ago. So I think they'll have plenty of time to rebound after missing tonight.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's going to be pretty tricky, seeing that you'll be hanging out with me on Thursday for the season finale out there in the trucks. And then these guys here in the Cup Series, you know, these guys are having to do a few things different, going from a really lightweight truck that's on the back end there, and then seeing how it does kind of flip-flopping around on the other end. Check who out there is in the chat. Kevin Foster, he said Hollywood is here. Hey, Kevin, appreciate you joining us here tonight. It is going to be a hopefully a decent run here at Chicagoland. Paint jobs are going to be a little bit different. David Callahan here looks like he's rocking the Jimmy Neutron paint scheme out there. We got a couple of other drivers that got other things going. Talk to me about Kerry Rogers here, Douglas. I'm fairly certain that might be somebody you know.
Yes, a lot of these paint jobs here remind me of my childhood, and Kerry Rogers, he is running the cartoon known as Cat Scratch. A lot of people may not know what that cartoon is, but I surely do remember it.
Cat Scratch. I thought that was like a song, you know, Cat Scratch Fever. All right, let's see the Flying Dutchman out there of Hen Bordeaux. There we go. Booskin Robbins. There we go. All right, there's a little thought put into it. I didn't notice that even during practice when we were starting to tune into these guys. So they've been doing a little bit. Let's check out William Page out there. Looks like Last Airbender, huh?
Avatar: The Last Airbender will be on be on William Page, and I believe John Peterson may be running that as well.
All right. I'll take a look. Hey. That's the Fairly Odd Parents. It's, which one's the girl one?
Wanda.
Wanda. All right. No, I'm fairly certain we had a green one out there, too. I saw we had somebody in the green out there earlier today. Might be Luke Smith, but we'll double check and we'll see as these guys get ready to get underway. Warm-up is already halfway complete here, so let's go ahead and take a look at what our race will consist of here tonight. Of a 95-degree track temperature, should be doing fantastic out there. I'm really hoping that is going to work out very well. 134 laps, 3 sets of tires down in the pit, and of course a 70% fuel limit. Of course, no fast repairs. This being a fixed setup league, it's going to be a little difficult for these guys to hang on, but they should be no problem out there, seeing they are in the Xfinity cars. So the Nickelodeon 200 getting ready to kick off here in just a moment as we get these guys trying to see if they can test anything else, if any little brake bias adjustment can be made to help them get back out there and try to get a little bit faster out there. I would hope some of these guys do have the opportunity and can come up with a little oof, ouch. Sorry about that. We looked at Hen Bordeaux looking kind of full send straight into the wall there. Looks like Victor Vallée is out there. Let's see what he's got going on. Nickelodeon Slime.
Of course, Victor Vallée was last week's winner at Pocono.
Yeah, I think he was almost surprised himself at how he finished that race. All right. Bombardier car of Daryl Harris. Sitting in the number 9, our Canadian out there. Hopefully we'll see a couple of these other guys definitely start winding up and getting ready to go here in just a moment. Looking to see if anybody else. You see, it looks like they're almost practicing pit road entries, and that is definitely a good thing. One thing you hate to do is continue going out there and speeding into pit road, which is, man, you really hate doing that, having to serve many, many penalties out there. Kevin Foster has been on the back end of some of those pit strategies. He's also been in some trouble out there on the track at times, but not saying he's the cause of them, but sometimes he's just wrong place, wrong time, so we definitely root on Kevin Foster. All right, let's see how we did. All right, Hen did her own paint job as the Flying Dutchman. All right, let's see. Cal. Let's see. Cal Laval. Yep. All right, we'll try to find these guys as they grid up and try to see if we can show you guys, because I think this should be pretty fun. That there are nations in Avatar. Bro, what? Cosmo and Wanda. All right, hopefully we'll see them get out here pretty soon. Now, talk to me about this track here, Douglas. Assuming that you have raced here, how tricky is this track, and how do these guys overcome what's coming?
Well, I could certainly tell you this. It is a tricky track to conquer. I mean, of course, NASCAR doesn't. I don't think they race on this track no more. But this track is very, very tricky to tame sometimes. But it all depends on the line that you're running and all that, and all the pit strategy.
Huh. There we go. Getting a look of Kerry Rogers and the cat scratch machine that's hanging out there. Not seeing too many guys out there on the track other than Daryl Harris and Victor Vallée, Luke Smith, John Peterson, Cal Lovell, Darren Ingram, and Cam Barnes. I know John's trying to help fill me in on how many paint jobs he did out there, seeing that he is one of the painters everybody turns to. He definitely puts out a good product. So we'll see some of John's paints as he's out there. And it should go pretty well. All right, 1 minute left here in the warm-up. And I would say here at Chicagoland, we joked a little bit about it last time. I think last race before we came here, that this place has now been turned into a parking lot since COVID. That they actually started parking most of the Fords here because they were missing the computer chips. So now this track being shut down, I think they're going to repurpose it, which is rather unfortunate. But fortunately, iRacing has gone out there, rescanned it with a laser before they decide to start changing anything. I believe the same as Auto Club They have done the same thing, gave it a quick scan as they went through, make sure any of the track before they have decided to repurpose it, or I believe make Auto Club actually a shorter and smaller track, which is going to be pains my heart to see. I really enjoyed the Auto Club track, but we're going to see how that fares. Who knows? It might even be better than before. So we'll see how all that turns out there. But Chicagoland is a very difficult and very tough on the right side tires here. Some of these guys definitely are going to feel the pain here, and tire management is going to be a must. The only thing that concerns me most about this race is even with the 134 laps, 3 sets of tires are what we're looking at here, and that is going to be a real test of these guys' strategies out there, because it is going to be almost impossible to make it on 3 sets of tires. They're really going to have to spread them out that 30 to 40 laps here if they wish to make it all the way to the end, at least with a decent amount of tread still left, or at least some tire life that is still, even fathomable if they can even make something of it. But we'll take a look at our guys' paint schemes out here. As our pole sitter is Cal Lovell. You see him sitting there in the Patrick Starr scheme. Luke Smith will be starting in the 2nd spot. That looks like Danny Phantom?
Yes, Danny
Excellent.
Phantom.
Kerry Rogers will be starting 3rd. Cat Scratch, William Page. I think they said this is the Water Nation avatar. Darren Ingram, he is sitting in Cosmo's car from the Fairly Odd Parents. Cam Barnes. SpongeBob. All right, everybody knows SpongeBob. That's a piece of cake. Everyone knows that one. All right. So we'll see. Victor Valley and Hen Bordeaux will be starting in row number 4. Moving on to row number 5 with John Peterson. That should be the Fire Nation of Avatar. And Zachary Webster out there in the Wabash car in the 95. Looks like Daryl Harris. He'll be starting 12th with Zach Krastowski to the inside. But it looks like Zach is having some trouble getting going there. There we go. Got the car fired up, and I think David Callahan just gave him a knock there and nudged the edge of his car as the 72 machine gets going. So Zach Krastowski will be out there in the Wanda car. I wonder if any point of this race, if it is a possibility that if they come in 1-2, there might be a little something for the drivers out there.
It's definitely, and I could tell you, 3 sets of tires. That's going to be interesting call for strategy and such.
Yeah, I would be highly concerned about this race, seeing that may be, where that may end up putting this race. It's going to be extremely difficult here, and I don't know 100% how they're going to make it. I would say it's going to be pretty tricky here. But they've got to really be on the ball here and don't want to mess up at all. As we get this one under green, let's go ahead and let her rip.
Go ahead and let her rip indeed. Cal Lovell is wasting no time at all, grabbing the number 1 spot. And up to the high side is Luke Smith in 2nd. Right now, Kerry Rogers, he is one of the ones on the inside looking under Luke Smith. But it looks like Darren Ingram is going to waste no time at all. Almost went 3 wide going into turn number 3.
Yeah, great job there by Darren Ingram. He's already moved himself up a position to see if he could put William Page in the rearview mirror, but not quite yet. Ingram definitely is looking, got his Toyota out front, and he does make it clear here for lap number 1. Lovell, Rogers, and Smith sit 1, 2, and 3. Battle for second still rages on, though, with Luke Smith sitting on that high side. That is definitely a great place to be, especially you want to start looking at any kind of tire savings. That should do it, guys. This is a great race here so far. If you want to join in, there's no better time. Look at USORL League and get out here and start putting down the laps. Kerry Rogers here to the inside as Luke Smith still tries to fend off that number 12 machine as his Ford is trying to hang on. Luke Smith, his Chevrolet has got just a nose over top here at Kerry Rogers, but it doesn't look like he's looking to give up yet anytime soon. That might be the turn, and we've got it. Luke Smith securing 2nd spot where he originally qualified, and as those two had been trying to kill each other, that has allowed Cal Lovell to get out in front by over half a second.
Lovall definitely extending his lead as the top four are right now settling single file, but we got a battle for spot number 5 going on back here between Cam Barnes and William Page.
All right, SpongeBob looking to get a little more here down on the bottom to see if he can get William Page behind him. William Page, unfortunately, on the roll backwards here, but this may be a tire conservation, so I do not even knock down William Page here, saying this is a bad spot for him. We've seen him fight back in the mellow yellow machine, but he is definitely working that 42 to the best of his advantage. The key is not falling off so much that he will not be able to recover. As Zachary Webster's turned on the afterburners, gained 3 positions, looking for the 4th. Here to the inside of William Page now, still going for it. And right now these guys are starting to really make a couple of moves out there that I would wonder if they're going to be paying for it in the later of this run. But check it all the way back out here for the race for 8th spot. Victor Valley, last week's winner, taking a look for it here as he sits currently 8th.
Currently sitting in 8th right now, but up on the top side with the more grip is Hen Bordeaux, still hanging on. She's trying to get past Valley for the number 8 spot.
Yeah, can this race continue this way with these ladies and gentlemen up top, down below, up top again, trying to see if they can shoot around each other and see if they can get just a little more out of this race. Awesome camera angle there as we're chasing the battle here, as Victor Valley still hangs on down to the bottom. Looks like Valley may have had some trouble there. Dropped down now to 10th, so getting a little loose here at the beginning of this race. As we get lap number 7 underway, top 3 still remain unchanged, starting to single file out here. And I would say it's not going to be a long race and people not really having to pay too much attention to each other if they are separated. Ouch! Shot to the wall there by Victor Valley on the exit of turn number 2. Check out this camera angle. Man, we're almost right in it now.
Another driver that is currently trying to make some noise right now is David Callahan in the 72, currently moving on to the outside of Hen Bordeaux. Callahan started dead last, and he is trying to move up to the number 8 spot.
Yeah, very quick here for the Jimmy Neutron machine, seeing if he can shoot his way up to the front. David Callahan, he's been on it hot here as of late, trying to get a decent finish here tonight. I think as long as he doesn't total out, he might have a possibility of at least a top 10 finish. Unfortunately, there are only 13 drivers out here. Guys, don't forget, you can join here at the USORL League. I'll say it 1,000 times. These guys race really well. They're just looking for bodies. Go ahead and give it a shot. What do you say we move to the battle for the lead, though? As I believe down to the bottom, Luke Smith took a quick dive through turn 1 and 2, and I have not going to take it away here, as it looks like the 5 of Cal Lovall definitely wants to come away with a win here, but he's early in the race. Luke Smith taking the more aggressive line down on the bottom. He's going to go ahead and take it away from Cal Lovall. Luke Smith gets the number 1 spot as Kerry Rogers watching all from behind.
Kerry Rogers definitely witnessing the battle for the lead, and we did have a battle between Darren Ingram and Kerry Rogers, but Ingram will settle back to the number 4 spot, and Zachary Webster's getting a good show in spot number 5.
Yeah, not bad here by Zachary Webster, as to behind him sits Cam Barnes. David Callahan sits up 6 positions as he's now secured 7th. William Page drops down 4 to 8th here in his 4th, the number 9. The number 9 spot goes to Victor Valley, and Hen Bordeaux rounding out our top 10.
Now looking into the inside is Victor Valley. He is trying to find the number 8 slot from William Page. Page is going to stay to the high side. Valley can't quite make the pass as William Page is still holding on strong.
Page doing a great job here, trying to fend off a few drivers, but this will now be his 5th position lost here of the night as his Ford continues to roll back. Hopefully that Mustang can try to come alive here and work out and get up to the front as we sit currently side seat to William Page here as we watch the number 27 WeatherTech machine starting to squirt away. Looks like the battle may be heating up for a second. We'll rotate up there here in just a moment. But first, I want to check out Zachary Webster out there with Cam Barnes, as right now this is a little something going on there as these two are side by side heading into turn 3 and 4.
Cam Barnes, he making that inside stick. He gets past Zachary Webster for the number 5 spot. Cam Barnes breaking into the top 5, and it looks like Zachary Webster will have to settle back to 6.
All right, love the energy up here in the booth here. Douglas, you're doing a great job, man. Kerry Rogers now starting to shoot around the outside here of Cal Lovell. Lovell might be slacking off just a bit. Had an early lead here in this race. His lap number 13 is over halfway complete. The 12 here of Kerry Rogers forward, trying to take a shot here to the outside. Does get... plan was thwarted there, but did not happen. That's going to give Luke Smith another lead lap. Cal Lovell in front of Kerry Rogers, and still the battle rages on here for that second position. But where is Kerry Rogers looking to go? Is it going to be an outside pass or an inside pass? Most of the passes we've seen tonight have been from the outside, and a few drivers have been clipping that wall, especially Victor Valley. I've seen that white car ricochet off the wall a few times here tonight, and especially in those Xfinity cars, it's going to be very difficult to overcome any sort of right front damage.
Definitely, the inside line is going to be the shorter preferred line to get around the track the shortest way, but if you want to go where the most grip is, you're going to have to go between the middle and the high lane, as we're seeing David Callahan ride that high lane trying to gain some momentum.
No, Callahan has definitely not slowed down any momentum he's had since the start of this race. 6 gains so far with that Toyota. The only other Toyota has gained only 1 position, and that going to Darren Ingram, who's currently sitting in 4th. Guys, I'm watching out there in the chat lighted up. Apparently my wife likes the Danny Phantom paint the most. I see you out there, Kevin Foster, as well. Tell me which one it is calling your name. Check this out. Cam Barnes down to the inside. Right now, the 21 machine of Darren Ingram might be in some trouble here. Cam Barnes in the SpongeBob paint scheme as he is trying to see if he can reel down. Looks like Cosmo out there. And that is... definitely something to see. Right now, I can't take that car seriously. Just Cosmo's face, and sorry, it brings back memories of some of those episodes and how dumb he is.
Oh, jeez.
I thought Cosmo used to yell weird things like French fries and things. He's like, French fries. I have no idea what's going on. Whoa, the 72 machine of David Callahan. Looks like his roll is going to stop as he may have overheated the tires there. A little slide out of 2 costs him, dropping him back down to 9th. William Page and Victor Valley almost laugh as they go past there as 7 and 8 go ahead and take over. Callahan may have to slow down just a hair here. That way he can try to let that car cool down and use it to his advantage. But notice how the lead has started to extend here for Luke Smith. Smith is now getting out front and starting to put the distance on these guys. And remember, no stages here at all in this league. So there will be no stop and goes unless we end up under a caution. But talk to me here about that battle for 3rd. As right now it looks like Kerry Rogers in the 21, Darren Ingram in the 21. And Cam Barnes looked like he almost had him there for a moment.
Cam Barnes definitely is trying to make something happen on the inside, but it just seems like either the grip is not there or he's lacking a little bit of speed. Every single time he gets to Ingram, he always loses that ground. So Cam Barnes still in the top 5, but he wants more.
Yeah, I'm noticing down around the front stretch, he's dropping it off the table, trying to see if he can cut this track down a little bit and try to reel in the 21 Toyota of Darren Ingram. Decides to stay behind him to use that draft. It is helping him, though. It is shaving off a couple thousandths of a second there to help reel him in and get just a little more here. But it is not really not collecting up the way he had hoped, but better than losing him. The same way that Cal Lovell is now, unfortunately, losing Luke Smith. As Smith is now pulling way away over half a second, and now he's starting to feel the pain that he actually started promoting to these other guys. So Cal Lovell may have had the hot lap here, but Luke Smith seems to have it down as we keep this one underway. Fantastic job here by all the drivers staying out there, staying clean. Couple nudges to the wall out there. Even David Callahan's looks like he's got a little right front nudge there right above the fender. And he may have to try to see if he can get that pulled out just a little bit when he comes down into pit road. Now, pit road. Remember we said we only have 3 sets of tires out there. Oop, little nudge to the wall there again by Mr. Callahan. But we've got 3 sets of tires, and I would say some of these guys, it's going to be pretty tight out there of how they're going and when they're going to take it. I think it might be suicide not to take 4 tires at a track like Chicagoland, is saying that the banking is not as favorable as some would like. Outside line here, though, for the, looks like the battle for 6th. But I was saying that battle for 7th starts going on as William Page gets kind of a really cruddy turn there. Loses not 1 but 2 positions. Zachary Webster and Victor Valley go ahead and shoot around him there. And now Page is going to be chasing yet again a couple more drivers. So that now drops William Page down 4 positions. And remember, he just gained at least one of them back, getting around David Callahan. So I don't know if William Page, if this track is not treating him too well, or if he's just hanging back. I figured after about 22 to 25 laps, we'd start seeing him kick it into overdrive here and get rolling.
It's definitely, and we got to pay attention also to the battle for spot number 4 right now between Cam Barnes and Darren Ingram. Barnes is still trying to get past the Cosmo machine of Darren Ingram, but Ingram still once again having that momentum on the inside to just get ahead of Cam Barnes.
Yeah, not bad here, as it looks like Cosmo is on the outside. SpongeBob down toward the bottom. Right now he's seeing if he can get just a little more out of that car, but he's not going to get the roll off the turn. Full clear there by Ingram. Fantastic job, and right now I guarantee you that definitely makes their race go by a lot faster out there when you're under fire here most of the night. But man, it can wear you down when we get to that final quarter here of the race. Here comes Cam Barnes once again right behind the 21, and I think he might try to make a move on him here in the next couple of turns.
We're going to have to pay attention to that battle, as it looks like they're still going to stay single file this time by going into turn number 2. Cam Barnes, he's got a little bit of draft, but will he be able to make the pass?
Yep, right now we are keeping an eye on it. There's Cam Barnes looking here to the inside. Notice that this track is not quite as smooth as you would think as we get on the front nose cam here of Cam Barnes. A little bouncy and bumpy as we get around the turns, but that is A-okay. He seems to be managing it quite well. The suspension set up to combat that kind of track issues out there. Here to the inside, Cam Barnes still trying to put Darren Ingram under fire here. Had it there for just a moment, but isn't able to get the full clear here as they get ready to shoot down the backstretch into 3. Cam Barnes going to send it just a little bit deeper. Right now, Darren Ingram getting the outside line. He's going to try to get a run and see if he can cross him over. There he goes. Ooh, man. Almost nudges him there. Darren Ingram gets cut off. And now Cam Barnes having to check up a hard bit, and it looks like he may have finally gotten this spot here, as it looks like Darren Ingram is not going to have that turn exit speed that he had hoped.
Darren Ingram's going to have to settle back into spot number 5 right now. He is trying to do the crossover on Cam Barnes, as now Ingram's going to try and see if he can make the inside line work, and he's going to battle on the front straightaway.
Yeah, real hard turn there by Ingram. You saw him having to whip it back down to keep from rotating up and smacking into Barnes there. That just takes a few more degrees into those right side tires that he's going to need to keep very healthy here for the end of this run. Ingram paying for it and now lost it. Boy, that's a bummer. Talk about a few things changing around out there. Right now I'm seeing our guys here in the front. Luke Smith was just under a quarter of a second ahead, and it looks like Cal Lovell had a pretty crummy turn there that last time around. Lost a tenth between turn 3 and 4. It looks like Lovell had a chance, but may have to back it up here just a hair to see if he can get these guys back underway. What do you say we take a look at William Page, as I think right now Victor Valley might be in some trouble.
And Victor Valley is starting to feel the heat from William Page. Page will really get to the inside there, so now Page will go into spot number 7. Victor Valley starting to lose some ground.
Yeah, Valley rotating back. William Page wants to make up some ground here. Oh, Victor Valley in the pit road. Lap number 30. We'll see if this is gonna where everybody's gonna be coming down into pit road here at the moment. I would say I think some of these guys are starting to feel the tires falling off as we speak. That's going to be pretty tough here. Cal Lovell still holding it in under a quarter of a second now. Looks like Patrick Starr is looking on the outside here. No can do, but Whaley, watch that speed there. Right now, if there's a spot that Luke Smith has figured out, is turn 3 and 4. He is able to put 2 tenths back on Cal Lovell. between turn 3 and 4, but Smith is able to do that. Cal Lovell just hasn't figured that out, and hopefully they are able to continue and figure that, maybe figure something out. And we are under caution as Hen Bordeaux working down in the pit. I would wonder if Victor Vallee ended up breaking loose out there after a fresh set of tires.
And that does look like the cause of the caution, as Victor Vallee did lose it coming off of pit road.
All right. Probably a silly caution here. I would say normally this is not something that happens. He gets going here, and I'm wondering if he sidesteps it here. You honestly wouldn't have thought that would have brought out a caution, though. I wonder if it's shown because he's sideways and he's heading up the track. Unfortunately, Victor Vallee, I believe, is a lap down when he came in, when he was working his way out of pit. So we'll see who ends up with the lucky dog, because Hen Bordeaux came down as well, but decided to pit and did, instead of working back out. So we'll see who has the lucky dog here. Both of them will most likely stay out, so they'll end up getting their laps back regardless. That's if everybody comes down, and they are. Excellent. All right, so everybody will remain on the lead lap here, as the Nickelodeon machines are working their way down into pit road, into their pit boxes here. Would like to thank all of you out there for joining us here at SimTrax Broadcasting. We are here with the USORL Cup Series here tonight, as these guys are starting to get a good bit of this race complete. About lap number 33 is what we're on currently. And race off of pit road. Not bad there by Luke Smith. That was close. Luke Smith, Cal Lovell, and Kerry Rogers are going to be 1, 2, and 3 when they get back out there. Hen Bordeaux and Victor Vallee, they will end up getting the wave round here. Now, if you were a driver out there and you get the wave round, do you come down and get a splash and go, seeing that you may be 2 to 3 laps off? And it looks like Victor Vallee might be thinking that, or wonder if Victor's got a problem out there.
Looks like Victor was given an EOL penalty, so he will be going to the rear of the bus.
I could see an EOL penalty, but I wonder why he's not getting the wave around. So is this going to leave him a lap down? Well, we'll have to see on the rule book there. You would think it would give the two of them the wave around, and then he would end up with an EOL penalty at the end. Huh. Which would have then been a moot point. Come on, Douglas. What's going on out here?
I have no idea, but it looks like one driver's taking advantage of it. That will be William Page, who looks like he came down for a top off of fuel.
Yep. I don't blame him. Definitely want to do that. So we'll see if we can... wonder if Victor Vallee will talk to us. What do you think? Let's see. Victor, you got a copy out there, buddy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Awesome, buddy. I want you to help work me through this, because maybe I'm missing it here. You came out of pit road, and something tells me the tire's a little too cold, slid off to the side here.
I just put it in first instead of third. It just didn't go into third instead of first. I'm first race with the H pattern, so some growing pains, that's all.
Okay. Why the EOL? Why not the pass around first, then the EOL?
That's just what Darren did. I can't explain that one.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I figured you and Hen stayed out. You should have gotten the wave around, and then you start at the back of the line.
Yeah, I was going to say, but since I caused it, I guess they want to do the EOL now, so then that way I don't benefit from the wave around.
I was going to say, it should be a moot point at the, here. Seeing with only about 13 drivers, it's going to be very difficult to recreate another caution out here and try to bounce back. Talk to me about the remainder of this race. You started working your way up front. How critical is tire conservation out there?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it starts building tight after about 10, 15 laps, and so you're just trying to get it together and just keep it from smashing the wall down off of 2 and off of 4.
All right, man. Well, good luck to you out there. Hopefully, hopefully you're able to get that slime machine into victory lane here tonight. I've seen guys be able to bounce back, but you got a tall hill to climb, buddy.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Good luck. All right, Victor Valley. That's who we were talking to. Pace car should be leaving. There we go. Wow, late entry. Can you get the pace car for a commitment cone violation? All right, let's go ahead and get this one back underway here. Lap number 36. Up, and away here. Green flag is back out. Luke Smith, Cal Lovell, Kerry Rogers, Cam Barnes, and Darren Ingram. Guess if your name starts with a C, you're going to be in the top 5 here tonight.
We got battles heating up all over the place. It looks like we got a battle for the lead between Cal Lovell and Luke Smith. And we have a battle going on for third between Kerry Rogers and Cam Barnes.
Yeah, still 2-2 here as we get up to the line. Right now, Cal Lovell will have the upper hand here on the upper line. Continuing on through as Cosmo is working his way right there on the outside. Might give a little nudge there to the 97 there of Cam Barnes. As right now, remember, these two were trying to duke it out here for the past couple of past handful of laps as Cam Barnes looks like he just barely nudges the edge of that wall. He should be A-OK and still be able to give a good race. Cal Lovell out front. Luke Smith is able to secure second, and still we are fighting for that third and fourth spot between Barnes and Rogers. Right now, the advantage does go to Kerry Rogers on the bottom line, but the right layer, a little bump into the white line, and that's going to cause the number 12 to march on back.
Looks like Kerry Rogers will settle back into spot number 5 right now as battle's heating up between Cam Barnes and Darren Ingram for spot number 3 right now, I believe.
Oh, man. Some may be thinking, hey, fans out there for Cam Barnes and Ingram saying, oh, no, not again. These two are going at it side by side. Right now, I think Cam Barnes might have it, but he's taking more of the Darren Ingram line. Remember, Ingram was high side there, about lap 18 all the way through lap number 30 before we went under caution. Ingram as they shooting down the backstretch here. Harris and Webster, I believe, are still going at it. As the number 9 of Darrell Harris, starting in that 12th spot, has been trying to work his way back up. Chopped half the field off here so far as he's still charging forward. But man, oh man, is there a lot of stuff happening in this front field? Yes, there is. Cal Lovell, Luke Smith, Cam Barnes, Darren Ingram, and Kerry Rogers finally settled down into the top 5 positions that they are in, but still just outside the top 5. The battle rages on between Zachary Webster and Darrell Harris.
Darrell Harris definitely has one of the preferred lines on the outside, trying to gain some grip. It looks like Zachary Webster will settle into that spot, and it looks like Darrell Harris is going to have some company right behind him because John Peterson wants to join in on the battle.
Yeah, Peterson wants to get a little bit there with the Fire Nation machine of the Airbenders sitting there working his way onto the bottom. Might want to try to see if he can bend some of that air out from in front of his number 43 Ford out there, see if he can pick up some speed and go up there and be more competitive. I know he's been working very hard here at Chicagoland to figure out this track and try to definitely be one of those forces to be reckoned with out here. But right now he's kind of hanging back. He's sitting currently 8th. He did start 9th in this race. Watching his way up to the front as the battles are kind of getting a little hairy up front there. As you see right now, Webster and Kerry Rogers up there are trying to get something going on. Boy, this is going to be tight here as they enter around out of turn number 2. Darrell Harris there on that outside in the white car. You see as you sit on top of John Peterson's car. And right now, Ford's 6th through 10th out there. Definitely racing a hard race. And so far, you know, you wouldn't think these guys would be pushing so hard so early, especially only entering lap number 43.
Most definitely, and we gotta pay attention to the battle for the number 1 spot. Cal Lovell does have it, but Luke Smith, he is managing to track him down. Cal Lovell is going to be under some heat here in a minute.
Wow. All right, well, I definitely expect to see Luke Smith bounce back. Remember, Cal Lovell had the lead there for a little while, but Luke Smith ended up being the faster driver of those two later on. Here we go, sticking a fender in it, and then right now Cal Lovell dropping it off the table and trying to see if he can cut this track a little bit. does not appear to help him at all, though. Luke Smith gets him through turn 1 and 2 here as we take a more of a high side look. Cal Lovell may have to go ahead and start sucking up the fumes there of Luke Smith's race car as he zooms on by.
It's definitely, and another driver that seems to be falling off the grid right now a little bit is Darren Ingram. He has dropped back a couple of positions, currently doing battle right now with Kerry Rogers to stay into the top 5.
Yeah, I know he's probably hating this right now as this racetrack is definitely fighting him here tonight. He was up there racing with Cam Barnes around the 3rd place area, but now he's down in 6th. Right now, Zachary Webster looking to attack. There's some contact.
Oh.
Not bad there by Kerry Rogers holding on to it, but Darren Ingram can't. No caution is out.
There's the caution.
There it is. Holy cow. And what a job there by Kerry Rogers to hold on to it. What an excellent job. That bump was wild, man. Holy cow.
I'm left speechless. That was definitely a good save by Kerry Rogers.
Yeah, here's the contact right there with the 12. 95 rear ends the 21 here. I don't know how Darren lost it there. And Kerry, oh man, almost gets the second piece. As he gets lost there. All right, wild turn of events here. As our drivers are coming down pit road, leaving some hanging out to dry. Luke Smith, John Peterson, Hen Bordeaux are going to remain out there on the track. I expect to see Hen Bordeaux probably come back in for a splash of fuel to not be off the advantage here. Victor Vallee, fortunately, with a caution out, will get the wave around and be back onto the lead lap. And all 13 of our drivers will be on that lead lap to go ahead and do battle yet again, so Victor Vallee won't feel all his passes are for nothing. Love to have a conversation out there with Kerry Rogers here, Douglas, and see if we can grab a hold of Kerry. Kerry, you got a copy here?
Yes, I do.
Dude, nice hold there. Talk to me about that turn 2 exit.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was just hard racing there at the 21. Had a little bit of contact with him with the front bumper. I think he just washed up into me, and I can't believe I saved that.
Neither can we. Yeah, I just wanted to know, man. How have you been able to pull your fingers off the wheel yet?
Oh, I'm gripping it, man. They are, and it's just, yeah, they're just glued to it at this point.
Man, what a race this has been. What's the hardest part you're finding out there on the track?
To me, it's saving tires because I really burned them up on that first set, and then I'm just trying to ride around and see what these guys are doing, and they're all just pushing it. I'm not sure if I can find a great way to save tire around here.
Well, if you are able to save tires, and that only leaves you 2 more down there in pit, I mean, it's going to be, I would say it's probably going to be a pretty big struggle for you out here, seeing that if you burn the first set off in the first 30 laps, man, we got to figure out how to straighten this out. So, I mean, what's a good way of saving tire at a track like this?
I think to me, it's just really just lifting early, sort of like braking the corners a little bit, and sort of just like waiting until, don't like full throttle until I'm on the straight, and only just like, I'll do like 3/4 throttle on like corner exit and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm just gonna experiment and see what I can do to save tire.
Man, well, tire savings is pretty critical here. Luke Smith, Cam Barnes, Cal Lovell, these guys have really been flying around this track. Do you think they're going to be in trouble?
Maybe. If they all take each other out, then I might have a chance here. So we'll see.
Man, oh man, oh man. All right, man, while I got you up here, you got anybody out here watching you? Any sponsors or anything like that you want to shout out?
Not particularly. I just want to thank UPS and Ford and repping Cat Scratch on the car. So yeah, great to have everybody here tonight, and hope everyone's having a great time watching the stream.
Cool. So Did you choose the Cat Scratch theme?
Yes.
Was it your favorite cartoon?
Well, not quite, but I loved it.
Okay. I was just wondering what makes somebody go, hey man, Cat Scratch, or something like that. I think like Angry Beavers. I didn't see any cat dog out here. I was definitely trying to throw it back as far as I can remember, man. But Kerry, good luck to you, buddy, and hopefully we get higher than 5th here tonight.
Awesome, sounds good. I'll aim for it.
All right, take it easy.
You too.
All right, Kerry Rogers, everybody out there in the number 12 machine, getting out there. Douglas, you excited to see this one go back at it, seeing that we came rather unusual caution here.
Unusual cautions, yes, but I got to tell you, this is hard pack action racing going on. Can't wait for it to go back to green flag.
You wouldn't think it'd be so busy out there with so few drivers. Normally, you see something like this when we're hanging out over 30 to 35 people. But man, this is getting pretty good here, especially right at the beginning. All right, Barney, let's get ready to let her rip. Green flag is out. Luke Smith, Cam Barnes, and Hen Bordeaux. Hen Bordeaux decided to stay out and did not come down into pit road. So last time Hen Bordeaux came in was lap number 30. We may be on a fuel conservation or a tire check here, seeing if we can make it last just a little bit longer. And Hen Bordeaux showing signs of fatigue here as Kerry Rogers gets yet another dent here tonight. One in the right rear of his right rear bumper, this time on the right side of the car. So right now that painter is starting to scratch his head, wondering what in the world he's got to do to keep the Cat Scratch car clean here tonight.
Most definitely, and I can tell you another driver that did not come down pit road that time was Luke Smith. He is currently our leader right now as he's starting to feel under fire by Cam Barnes.
Yeah, a couple of drivers who ended up having to do some repairs down in pit road was Darren Ingram, and it looks like Zachary Webster as well. Remember I said he had a little nudge there with the wall. Pull a little bit of that fender off that right front tire, and he's back out there in that 95 machine, unfortunately settling back into his original qualifying position here of 10th. So that is hateful there for the 95, but he's going to be definitely working on it there. Let's take a zoom in here of David Callahan, as right now the number 9 is getting into Hen Bordeaux. Right now Hen is trying to hold on to it though on the outside line, following behind Cal Lovell, and Lovell is settling unfortunately down into 4th. Instead of battling for the lead there, that's going to be pretty tough. But speaking of the lead, no doubt there as Cam Barnes came down on lap number 46 for a fuel and go, but has had the opportunity to take over the lead here from Luke Smith. Now Smith has been on a tear here, staying up front, but that did not last for long as Cam Barnes was able to get a hold of him here. Let's take a look at it at the pass. This is Cam Barnes down on that bottom line. No surprise here. Right across the front line, he does lead. Looks like lap number 53 is the lap he began leading, and that did it for him. So Luke Smith has been on the chase ever since.
Cam Barnes wasted no time at all grabbing that number 1 spot. As currently right now we have a battle heating up for spot number 5 between David Callahan, and we got problems here.
Oh my gosh. Darren Ingram cannot get out of there. Darren Ingram unfortunately just rear-ended the back end of David Callahan's car. We had just switched back to that, and right now I don't know if he's got enough damage to be concerned. I'm guarantee you that right front, something's bent up here. So Cosmo heading down. The Sour Skittles machine and David Callahan. We'll see something happened here. Both of them heading down into pit road, no cautions.
Definitely. It looks like Darren Ingram, it looks like he has a right front tire that went bye-bye, as well as some damage.
Ouch. Yeah, I hate seeing that for those two guys. I know they're trying really hard out there, but that was not what they wanted at all. Let's take a look back and see if we can kind of see how this one develops. As I know right now, Darren Ingram was having some trouble on the way out of that turn. As we got somebody sticking to the wall, David Callahan, that is. Now notice we were racing on the outside of the 9, and I'm thinking we're not back far enough here. David Callahan with Victor Vallee here for spot number 7. Let's take another look. Good Lord, come on. Trying to see where in the world David Callahan comes into the picture here. Come on, give me something. Ouch. Yeah, we keep coming into it late here, and I'm not quite sure why. We should be seeing how this kind of forces here with the 9. 9 looks like a check up there behind Cal Lovell, wants to rotate up. A little shimmy there by the 72. Oh, yeah, 72 just got a little loose. Took the air right off the nose. Ingram's got nowhere to go. Boy, John Peterson can't figure out where he needs to go instead of going down into the grass. Which is pretty close. So, Cosmo down. Wanda's got to keep going. All right, let's get back to it live here. Boy, we got another 3 wide going on up here. I believe that is, yeah, Victor Valley. I think he just squirted through as Cal Lovell drops it down to 6. So this is the first time I've seen Cal messing around outside the top 5 here. As unfortunately he keeps rolling and rolling backwards. Hate seeing it for him though. Luke Smith trying to hold Cam Barnes in close. Kerry Rogers sitting 3rd. And then we get a look at almost 1.3 seconds back to find Darrell Harris. Victor Valley sits 5th. Cal Lovell, we said, was in 6th. That moves us to Zachary Webster and Henry Bordeaux. This is the battle out there for 7th. Ooh, Hen up there into the wall again. High side for Hen Bordeaux. Zachary Webster stays on the bottom here. All right, now the 95 machine trying to churn back to the front. Remember I said that 95 settled back into 10th after pit road with a little extra time down in the box. Has now fought back up to 8th. It's a good idea to help fix some of that body damage that was out there. Zach Krastowski sitting currently 9th. Peterson is in 10th. William Page is 11th. And that gives Darren Ingram the night off here as he made contact with the back end there of David Callahan. And may have taken it. Yep, may have taken it back to the garage. So it looks like 54 laps completed there for Darren Ingram, and that did it for him. David Callahan still, was able to repair that car. He got back out, but it is going to leave him a couple laps down here, though. So only one driver here tonight has had to retire, unfortunately. And that is going to go to Darren Ingram, the number 21 Toyota.
Looks like Cam Barnes, he still has a little bit of a comfortable lead over Luke Smith.
Yeah, currently sitting pretty well. Hen Bordeaux trying to see if he can fend off. If she can fend off the 95, but that does not appear to be so. Little trouble getting that car to rotate, but remember these tires were last put on lap number 30. We've got 33 lap old tires on this machine with a caution in between. Boy, you see that car's just not running to rotate, so Hen Bordeaux losing a ton of speed here. And that's going to give Zach Krastowski an opportunity here in just a moment to see if he can get up there and try to make a pass between these two. So, Zach Krastowski is fending off John Peterson, the 43 Ford. Hen Bordeaux currently sits 8th. They're getting a little something going. I'm impressed at the front 3 being able to get a breakaway out there. Luke Smith only down by about 0.3 of a second. Kerry Rogers about 0.8 of a second off. And then we have to look 2.5 seconds back to find our 4th place driver, Darrell Harris. So if this thing goes green all the way, that's going to be a hard hill to climb rather than clumping these guys back together out there.
It's definitely, and you have to remember a lot of these drivers are on a different strategy. Like under the last caution, we had a lot of our front runners come down during that caution, but Luke Smith, he's on a different strategy than everyone else, not coming down after that last caution. So probably expect Luke Smith to come down sooner or later, while these other guys probably try to extend it more.
Yeah, Hen Bordeaux into the wall there out of turn number 4. That gives up the spot there to John Peterson. Zach Krastowski now on the bottom. And it's pretty impressive when you get a driver who snugs in behind another one, and you are able to make the pass for not one but two positions. So John Peterson from 10th to 8th, and a couple of turns there. Hen Bordeaux still falling backwards here to 10th. I would say if caution comes out here in the next 5 to 10 laps, Hen Bordeaux will be smiling at them and appreciating what they've done for her, because she needs to come down and get tires here very, very soon. Bill Harkins says good evening out there. Hey, Bill, how's it going, buddy? We are here with the USORL Xfinity Series, the Cup Series out here tonight for the Nickelodeon 200 at Chicagoland. Pretty interesting race here so far. 13 drivers starting the race, 12 remain, 11 on the lead lap. So David Callahan has got to make up a few more laps here so he can get back on the lead lap after the contact. A little loose into the wall. Ingram rear-ended him there. Unfortunately, he had nowhere to go after a quick slowdown, and that has unfortunately had to bring Darren Ingram to an early retirement here tonight. So pretty rough out there for those two, and right now Luke Smith is getting ready to start getting a little pressure applied here by Kerry Rogers in the number 12 Ford.
Kerry Rogers definitely trying to make up some ground that was lost, trying to track down Luke Smith and doing a great job at it. Still settling back into spot number 4 will be Darrell Harris, as he's got quite some distance to make up, as well as Victor Valley in spot number 5.
Boy, yeah, and you're starting to see the separation that we didn't see earlier here in this race. These guys have been racing almost identically the way they were at the beginning here of this race, but the separation is impressive. As right now we are sitting with Kerry Rogers out there, trying to see if the cat scratch machine can continue to charge up to the front. Had a pretty decent night here tonight, although contact there with Darren Ingram has got him a little on edge right now. 39 machine to the outside, and it looks like we may have a pass here as the battle for second is underway.
Battle for second is definitely underway. Kerry Rogers trying to make that inside line work, and it looks like he will get that number 2 spot away from Luke Smith.
Wow, full send there by Kerry Rogers. Great job. So Cam Barnes, Kerry Rogers, Luke Smith, and Luke Smith coming down pit road. Luke Smith not the only one to join pit road. Hen Bordeaux is already sitting down here in the pits. And I guarantee you the Booskin Robbins machine of the Flying Dutchman looks like we are going to be getting 4 tires back out onto the road, and here we go. So definitely you think that was a huge separation before. Darrell Harris is sitting about 2.7 seconds off pace here. It looks like the number 9 might be checking up a little bit. No, deciding to stay out. The Bombardier car deciding to stay out for 3rd place across the line. Victor Valley for 4th, Zachary Webster for 5th. But looks like Wanda's going to be working the way on down with Zach Krastowski and the Fire Nation Airbender out there. For John Peterson, the number 43 Ford is coming on down. Okay, who's that on the side of the car?
The side of which car?
The 4. Right in front of the right rear tire. That doesn't look like Timmy to me.
No, it doesn't. It's a little hard to tell.
Okay. Boy. All right, so Cam Barnes still remaining in the lead here. So things are going to get switched up just a little bit. Some of their times out there. I say it's not hateful, but let's say we'll pick a driver like Darrell Harris. His best time sitting at a 31.28 out here tonight was his best time. 32.61 last time by, now a 32.78 this time. Still pretty decent amount of fall off here by a second and a half. And some of these guys may be just kind of cutting their losses, coming down in 4 tires and getting back out there. Are going a maximum of almost 30 to 40 laps on these tires. Some of these guys who did come in for fuel and goes back on lap 46. They may be trying to extend this one. I've got to say, if there's one thing they tried to trip up here was shaving down the amount of tires in this race. I think if they had 4, everybody would be much more comfortable, but only 3 down in the pit. That is going to make it extremely difficult here, but it is just about that time. As the guys up front here are saying, all right, well, we came in on lap 30, about lap 30, 36 for tires. If we come in now, get tires, we can take them again maybe about lap 115 and still remain competitive to the end.
Definitely. And the guys that ended up pitting under the last caution, they're going to try and extend it as much as they can before they have to come down and get a full tank of gas.
But boy, wouldn't you hate to have... It's the amount of fall off that gets me right now. Is a driver like Hen Bordeaux, 31:13 is her best time. 31:26 is what she's running right now. And that's on a fresh set of tires back on lap number 69. Now our leader currently is running a 32:67. Which is pretty rough now. 32:72 is the fall off here by Cam Barnes. So hopefully Cam is starting to think pit stop here, because it's got to be pretty soon. Yes, we may be A-OK on fuel, but man, I don't know how we are on tires. Seeing we are still got a decent amount of fall off. Not the second and a half we were seeing out of Darrell Harris out there. But Cam Barnes is starting to get pretty close out there, and Kerry Rogers still chasing. Victor Vallée deciding to come on down. Wow.
Oof.
Yeah, I'd be really surprised if we didn't speed in. There's no way you come down pit road sideways.
Nope, no penalty, so it looks like he's clear to go.
Excellent. All right, Cam Barnes still hanging around out there, getting pretty close to that bottom line. Trying to psych us out a little bit as he's still talking to his crew chief if everything is feeling good out there. Right now, Cam Barnes would love to come away with a win here. That would make him the next season winner here of the Chicagoland Speedway. We'll see how many times that these guys do wish to continue visiting this track. And speaking of visiting tracks that don't get a whole lot of airtime out there, next week we actually should be at Iowa. So a very bumpy track for the Cup cars to be taking on out there. Still plenty raceable. And any short track fans out there will be very happy about arriving there. Kerry Rogers is currently sitting second as drivers are starting to work on the round. Coming up with a little extra speed out there to start shooting around the track. Number 39 out there of Luke Smith. Wish he was passing Cam Barnes like that, especially if he was on the lead lap. So Luke Smith, we're already fighting around and should be back onto the lead lap now as the Danny Phantom car is still running as fast as he can. Currently sitting at a 31.83. That's about almost a second faster than Cam Barnes. As you can see, he's already leaving him here. Barnes with a 32.78 and Luke Smith now with a 31.97. So not bad there. So Luke Smith on the hurry up here as the front runners still need to pit here eventually. Last time they came down was 46, but for fuel only. Last time these guys did come down for tires. I will double check and make sure our time here, yes, came down on lap number 32. Lap 33, the tires went on. So they have been out here for an extended amount of time here on the same set of rubber. That's going to be pretty close here. But still remaining pretty quick out there. I would say Cam Barnes will not retain the lead unless a caution comes out. I think even coming down pit road and back out, seeing the pit road time is about 42 seconds for 4 tires and fuel. Yeah, Luke Smith only sitting off by 30 seconds off pace here. So he will be running them down, and very quickly as he breaks under the 30-second mark. And that was the only key I bring up here, Douglas, is when you've got drivers out there who hang out longer on a set of tires, is he paying for this in the long run, staying out there longer?
It really all depends. I mean, in this situation, I would suggest pitting soon, especially if Luke Smith is on those fresher tires and getting back on the lead lap. Makes you wonder why Cam Barnes and Kerry Rogers didn't come down sooner, but they might have a trick up their sleeves and just playing it by strategy.
Yeah, if this goes green all the way, and Luke Smith will be unfortunately falling backwards. Obviously, tire wear is a thing, so 31.87 was his last time. if Cam Barnes and Kerry Rogers, decide to come down now, they could eventually run him down and almost be 10 seconds off pace here. But I don't know if Luke Smith is conserving his tires or if he's in panic mode and he's trying to run him down, as he's now broken below the 28.5 seconds deficit out there. So still charging on. William Page, who's currently sitting in the sixth spot, working his way down pit road now. So interesting enough, to see Cam Barnes yet still going.
Give these guys a lot of credit for staying out on those old tires, especially if the last time they pit was... You said the last time they pit was on lap 30?
Yeah, about 33. So we're right now 53 laps on these tires.
Wow.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. That is a long time out here on these tires. But he's still doing it. Right now, Cam Barnes running a 32.71 last lap. And here he comes, finally.
Here comes Cam Barnes coming down pit road, and Kerry Rogers is following right behind him, along with Darrell Harris.
Yeah, does Zachary Webster come down? Boy, he's got to check it. Right there. Okay. All right, that's going to leave Luke Smith chasing down Cal Lovell, and Lovell last came down at the same time, lap 33, as he's currently sitting in that number one spot. He'll be out in front of Luke Smith by now half the time, only about 15 seconds. Luke Smith now slings by him as they are currently sitting in pit, now finally coming out of the box. And this is what I was talking about, is the amount of distance Cam Barnes has got to make up to find our leaders. Cam Barnes now 12 seconds, and I guarantee is still losing spots as Luke Smith continues to rotate through here. Now, if Luke Smith decides to come down and pit in the next 25 laps, I think like I said, I'm starting to think in my gut he may have the winning strategy here if we can stay green, because right now Luke Smith has got a very, very comfortable lead of 15 seconds over top of Cam Barnes out there. But the tires are starting to wear down here on Luke Smith. He came down on lap number 70, and he needs to hang back as Kyle Lovell still needs to come down into pit road.
That's one thing that's going to play into the strategy of Cam Barnes and Kerry Rogers is the fresher tires. They could have probably even stayed out, saying, let Luke Smith burn up his stuff a little bit, and we'll stay out here as long as we can until we think that he's on the mid-end of burning up his tires.
So you're saying kind of the sitting duck maneuver, just wait for him to burn his stuff up, go out there with the fresh stuff, and then run him down. That's
pretty much.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea. I like that angle. All right, looks like Ken Bordeaux has been shuffling back here down to 9th as Zach Krastowski and Darrell Harris have just shuffled by. Kerry Rogers now currently sitting in 6th, nailing down his fastest turn 1 and 2 out here tonight, about 15.5 seconds around that turn. Everybody else has been doing just about a second slower than that. So right now, Kerry Rogers on a tear here and working back up. And that is Cam Barnes passing John Peterson. Barnes pit on 86, Peterson on 71, and that was an easy pass. Barnes right now, the distance between Barnes and Luke Smith sits at 7 seconds. And right now, Cal Lovell still hanging out there. That lead has been cut down to 23 and a half between those two. So a little bit of moving around out here. Victor Vallee came down. Cal Lovell now. All right, that should be everybody. So the person out there on the oldest tires would go to Hen Bordeaux back on lap 69. Second longest would actually be Luke Smith on 70. Unfortunately, we're not counting David Callahan in there as he's off pace here by a couple of laps. Last time I think he came in was 54, though.
I can tell you what, it's definitely playing dividends for Cam Barnes because he is running lap times that is the fastest of the whole race.
Yeah, that he is. But is he burning his stuff up trying to reel him in? Last lap, it was the 31.21, which is about 10 thousandths of a second slower than his fastest time here of the night of a 31.20. So Huge move here and great call by Cam Barnes, but is this going to cost him? Is he frying his tires off trying to run down Luke Smith? Now, out there in the distance, that is Victor Vallee, about 3.5 seconds ahead, but he's got to look triple that, past that, to find Luke Smith. Luke Smith actually rotating halfway through 3 and 4 currently, and right now it has a long way to go, and 9 seconds is a huge mountain to climb here for Cam Barnes. As we take a look back, you see the spec crossing the line. That is Victor Vallee behind him. So let's see if we can find Victor out there. There's Victor. And we'll take a look back. There's Cam Barnes. So, seeing that we can go that far, can Cam Barnes make it to the end? Does he need tires again? There you go. Work on that one, Douglas.
I think the question is Luke Smith going to need tires again? I would say probably most definitely.
Yes. I would say Luke Smith, 110%. He's going to need tires and fuel again. But can Cam Barnes one-stop this thing, and the tires and the fuel he's got on it now make him to the end?
Slowly but surely, I'm watching Cam Barnes. He is reeling down that lead. It's down to 7.5 seconds.
Yeah. Seeing that it was 54 laps on tires. Boy, he might be able to make it. Yeah, Cam Barnes might be able to make it on fuel and tires out there. And that would be why he was stretching as far as he could.
And I can tell you what, not only is it going to be close for Cam Barnes, it's also going to be close for Kerry Rogers, who is pretty much on the same strategy.
Yep. Yeah, a little faster down in the pit box, though. Was able to break under the 15-second mark for the pit stop. Kerry Rogers, yeah, he might be able to make it. It looks like Cam Barnes is starting to pull away, though, and so is Darrell Harris. Harris is starting to kind of reel in Kerry. And right now, that Kerry Rogers, the only Ford sitting in the top 5 here, is starting to feel kind of lonely with all these Chevrolets going at it. Cam Barnes has now passed Victor Vallee, and easily he goes around with tires that are about 9 laps fresher. And now we are about 4.5 seconds from catching Luke Smith. Smith starting to feel a little pressure, though, as his spotter's letting him know. All right, Cam Barnes is after you now. The 97 Chevrolet will be reeling you in soon. So probably 7 or 8 laps, we may see Luke Smith getting some pressure here by Cam Barnes. I will wonder if Barnes is pushing it a little too hard here. Last lap by Luke Smith was a 32.45, 31.76 out there by Cam Barnes. So, boy, when you're already shaving off more than half a second per lap, right now Cam Barnes is on the move.
Cam Barnes is definitely on the move. Question is, will he catch him time before the next strategy call?
Yeah. I would say as soon as Cam Barnes passes Luke Smith here, Smith will come in and pit. That may be the only way you're going to try to upset this. You've got to cut your losses, put the tires on, get back out there. Because currently Luke Smith, his tires are about 30 laps old. Seeing if he can make it probably another 5 to 6 laps if he can stay out front. He may be able to split this and be able to hit. I don't think Luke Smith can make it 74 laps. 74, 75, 64 or 65 laps out there on tires. That's going to be pretty close. We were already looking at Cam Barnes barely making it out there on 54.
Looks like Hen Bordeaux came back down pit road.
Yep, Hen Bordeaux for the 3rd time tonight. Looks like for 4 tires and fuel yet again. Hen Bordeaux should be going ahead and drawing the line. Remember, she came down on lap number 69. Now comes down to lap number 98. So that may be the leading factor here of what Luke Smith might do, because Smith only came in a lap later than that. Race still kind of chalking up to be a decent one here, and definitely a lot of strategy calls here, or what we're emphasizing is going on. John Peterson working on down pit road. Yeah, Cam Barnes with that extended time out there in the second stint, really set him up very well here as he's cut down under 2.5, now under 2.25 seconds to catching Luke Smith. Luke Smith just seems to be a sitting duck here and might be in some trouble. He can just make it a couple more laps out there and then come down and pit. He might be able to do something with this race. But Cam Barnes, boy, oh boy, it would be making it by the skin of his teeth here at the end for the win, seeing how old his tires are going to be.
Definitely. Oh, and it looks like we got our answer. Here comes Luke Smith down pit road.
All right. Interesting call here. Luke Smith working on down. Victor Valley is already sitting in the pit box and working on the way out. Boy, this is going to be pretty tough there. As you can see, Hen Bordeaux working to the outside there. The 97 of Cam Barnes to get one of the laps back as we continue this roll out here. Awesome job here tonight by all of our drivers. Only a couple fumbles out there. Victor Valley looped it coming out of pit road. He said he accidentally shifted back into first. H-pattern shifter. Definitely want to let go of the shifter, let it snap back to center, and then just push forward. I think he tried to manhandle it and stuck it back into first. Spun him around. And then we had another yellow flag with Darren Ingram out there getting in contact with the vehicle, which unfortunately brought out our second caution of the night. Other than that, clean and clear sailing for everybody out there. Working back out of pit road is Luke Smith. Smith coming out after 4 tires and fuel. That'll be the last set for him. And he's got to make it about 31 laps out there on the tires he's got on at current. So we'll see if he can reel him in, as unfortunately Luke Smith is down a lap here.
So now, the two drivers we're really going to have to pay attention to are Cam Barnes and Kerry Rogers, who are pretty much on the same exact strategy. The question is, will both of these guys make it till the end?
If they don't make it on fuel, that would definitely make them look very bad. Because remember that when they did pit, it's lap number 30 is when they pit. And then they went almost 50 laps before they pit. Boy, and then they had a caution in between. Well, I don't know if they were able to fuel save during that time, or how much he had at the end of his last run, trying to see how far he can go on those same tires and that same fuel tank. So this could be pretty interesting here. We'll see how it goes. And does Luke Smith keep the hammer down here to keep going? As you can see, Luke Smith there on the bottom, that is currently passing the third place driver there of Darrell Harris. Harris has been out there since lap 86 as well. 4 of those drivers are almost on the same process. Barnes, Rogers, Harris, and Webster. All came in on lap number 86. William Page came down on lap 84. He might be a driver who's in trouble via fuel. So only 26 laps left to go here. This one is starting to wind down here at Chicagoland. Nickelodeon 200 will be coming to a close here very soon. Appreciate you guys joining us here at SimTrax Broadcasting. A very difficult race here for some of our guys who have been fumbling around trying their best to see how they can do out here tonight. And they are definitely letting it go. So far, I see at least 3 people out there in the chat. My wife, Kevin Foster, and Bill Harkins that have joined us tonight. We do appreciate you hanging in there. And William Page working down pit road. So that's going to answer that for fuel.
Oh, and we may have our question right here, because here comes Cam Barnes coming down pit road.
Yep, Cam Barnes, I think, realized he might not make it here. Kerry Rogers decides to stay out. Boy, you want to talk about a flop here. This could be something. We'll see how Cam Barnes does and what he chooses to do in pit. Does he have to take tires? Yes, he is. Right sides.
Here comes Kerry Rogers coming down pit road.
No kidding. Holy cow, and Daryl Harris as well. Cal Lovell, we know, was going to stay out there. He came in on lap 91, so he's got an extra little time before he's going to have to come in. Holy cow, that's crazy. Cam Barnes had to come in. That puts Victor Valley in the 5th, Luke Smith in the 4th. So Luke Smith will have enough fuel to make it to the end here. Now the question is a driver we've kind of nixed, possibly even winning this thing, would be Cal Lovell, and Lovell now out front. But only by about 3 1/4 seconds as Luke Smith is quickly reeling him in with those tires that he put on back on lap 103.
The question remains, will Cam Barnes be able to do it again and track down Luke Smith? Because I'm pretty sure once all this cycles out, Luke Smith will be back in the lead.
Yeah, agreed. See how we're looking at it. Hopefully Luke Smith has taken care of his tires. Cam Barnes' tires are only 7 laps fresher this time and nailed down the fastest time out there on the track with a 30.87. The only driver out there to break under the 31-second mark. And he did it by a big margin. Most guys aren't even within 2/10 of that. So the 97 definitely starting to use up these tires, and he knows he's got very little time to reel these guys in. Let's take a ride along with the fastest driver on the track of Cam Barnes. I don't know if you guys noticed, and listen to how that car is running out there. He is not lifting off the gas completely enough for it to backfire. Here he's right back on the gas, so he is just barely lifting there. So you know he is frying these things off to run these guys down. Holy cow, is he on a tear. 72 machine, rear view mirror. David Callahan goes to the back. And next he'll be looking for is Victor Valley. This is crazy right now. Cam Barnes. And if you think that's not bad, right now, you see, we were talking about him breaking under the 31-second mark. He's been doing that for all those laps we rode with him. So another 30.97, and right now he is crushing the times out there as Luke Smith gathers the lead up and is now trying to put the distance. Yeah, this is huge right now. 1, 2, 3. Luke Smith sitting in the 39. Cal Lovell sitting in the number 5. The 42, William Page, trying not to go down a lap here. Page did come down on 109. Page should be able to squeak by and pull away here. And if I were right now, if I were Luke Smith, you might want to run behind him here and see if you can get up some of that draft. Keep it going here. Right now, our big circle is going over top of Cam Barnes and put Victor Valley into the rearview mirror very quickly. Cal Lovell out in front by 5 seconds over top of that. And that is going to be pretty sketchy there, as right now, Cam Barnes, if he can stay on this roll for another 8 laps or so, he is currently just breaking over top of the 31-second mark. So that means he is still 0.8 faster than any driver on the track. Boy, you hate playing from the back here, but that's going to be pretty tough. Right now,
That's definitely going to be the question for Cam Barnes, whether if he has enough time to track down Luke Smith. He's got the tires, but does he have the time?
Yeah, and Luke Smith having a battle with some lap traffic down there of Hen Bordeaux. And Bordeaux didn't want to go down a lap, but is rather unfortunate and going to have to. Luke Smith still sitting in the number 1 spot. Kyle Lovell sitting just behind. Had a great pit stop from Cal Lovell. I think that's the only reason he was able to kind of come back together. Lovell, last time he pit was 91. And I would say he might make it here on fuel. He's going to be able to squeak it out. But Cam Barnes I mean, this guy's on a tear here, 31-37. Right now, about a second faster than our leader. So this could definitely wind down here very, very quickly. You can see those drivers are getting much closer. Right now, Luke Smith has got to be talking to his crew chief. All right, how far behind him is he? And I think they're only going to be able to tell him about 3.5 seconds, which is going to start making him nervous. That is him, third dot up. Kyle Lovell. Could be the next on the chopping block, and then after that is Hen Bordeaux, and that is Luke Smith third way out there. Boy, but Cam Barnes, holy cow, the speed this guy is doing right now. Cal Lovell with a 33-second turn on the last lap, and you got a guy doing 31.66 out there. So Cal Lovell about to drop down to third here. It just seems inevitable. Cal's going to go ahead and let him on by. I would say if a late caution were to come out, Cal's going to be the one laughing at everybody out there. As I believe he still has a set of tires remaining down there in pits. Cam Barnes is only 2.5 seconds off of Luke Smith here. 13 laps left to go. This is a really good spot here for SpongeBob out there in his 97 Chevrolet.
What, this is going to be impressive if Cam Barnes can reel him in not once but twice.
Right now Luke Smith is really hoping he can stay out front, but it just seems like it just keeps sawing away. Down under 2 seconds now for Cam Barnes, catching Luke Smith. 12 laps left to go. It just doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Right now, Luke Smith is wondering what he needs to do to come up a little more speed here. Yeah, Douglas, I don't know if speed is going to be the answer, though. Barnes has been very, very strategic out there, especially with the tires. You know, Luke Smith would love to have been a winner here. Has never won it here at Chicagoland. Looks like Cal Lovell did it back in season 6, but it looks like he's going to be missing that mark here as he's 4 seconds off pace. Looks like Cam Barnes is getting ready. He's about 1.5 seconds off from just being on the edge of being able to chisel his name into the record books out here for the USORL Cup Series as a winner here at Chicagoland. 10 laps left to go. Cam Barnes seems to be slowing down. Luke Smith running a 32.37. Cam Barnes running a 31.93. So now we're only about 0.5 seconds faster. Still within range as he breaks under 1 second. Luke Smith wishes he only had a lap to go and he'd be laughing this one to the end. But unfortunately, over 15 miles left of the race to go. And it looks like Luke Smith is going to be caught here by Cam Barnes. Barnes rotating a lot closer there to the wall. Trying to get as much speed as he can exiting these turns. Great job there by Cam Barnes. Look how close he gets to the wall. Able to sweep into the turns as we take a look off the backside of Luke Smith's bumper here. Watching what in the world is making Cam Barnes reel him in here as he's broken under 0.5 second, 8 to go.
Cam Barnes is definitely running the preferred line. He's just trying to get around the track as short as possible, running that inside line. But Luke Smith, he's running the same exact line, but he just doesn't have the tires as Cam Barnes does.
Yeah, as we rotate back a little bit, Kerry Rogers, quick pass over Cal Lovell. That's going to knock him out of a podium position there. And Darrell Harrison, the number 9, he's going to try to put Cal in the rear view, and he does. Cal drops down to 5th. Pretty hateful there. I'm sure he wished he had just a little more there or could do a little more out there on the track, and this is very, very difficult to see Cal Lovell marching back the way he is currently out there on the track. Kerry Rogers now under fire by Darrell Harris as Harris is looking to pick up the pace, and we'll rotate up to our leaders here. Cam Barnes not quite there yet. Darrell Harris does have 3rd here for the moment as him and Kerry Rogers are going to go at it.
Earl Harris trying to break into a podium position here for spot number 3 right now. Kerry Rogers managing to hold on to it just slightly. Right now, the battle is heating up for the lead because Cam Barnes has tracked down Luke Smith.
All right, right now Luke Smith trying to be as wide as possible. And here's the pass. Cam Barnes to the inside. I wasn't sure if Luke Smith was going to be able to fend him off here. Outside line, SpongeBob looking for it, and look at that face. I guess Cam Barnes went jellyfishing there. Around he goes, and that looks like Luke Smith has given up that position. And away they go.
We're talking about that. Darrell Harris did manage to get 3rd place from Kerry Rogers.
All right. 5 laps left to go. And Cam Barnes was able to do it. And is now putting the distance there on Luke Smith. We give it to Luke Smith for going ahead and letting him on by. I was hoping he'd give him a little more of a fight out there, though. And revisiting back down pit road is going to be Mr. Callahan. Right now, Jimmy Neutron has been having some trouble. Looks like Sheen is still on the car, so that's a good sign. So not too much contact with the wall out there. Cal Lovall now 5th. Victor Valley. Remember, he ended up going a lap down, but was able to boomerang back after another caution that happened back on lap 45. Got him back onto the lead lap after the spin out that he had back on lap 32. Excuse me, lap 30. Checking back on that. So Victor Valley, not bad. Started 7th, looks like he's going to be finishing 6th here. As long as everything goes A-OK, 3 laps left to go. Biggest mover of the race is Darrell Harris, who started down in 12th. He's gained 9 positions here tonight. Looks like he's lining himself up for a 3rd place finish here tonight. 2 to go.
Cam Barnes, he just continues to extend his lead, putting Luke Smith way, way in his rearview mirror.
Yeah, as he has over a second over top of Luke Smith out here. I think it would require a catastrophe here by Cam Barnes. And I end up going ahead and knocking it off the wall. White flag is out. Cam Barnes' race here. All 3 Chevrolets in the top podium positions. Then we've got a couple of Fords to finish out the top 5. Cam Barnes only 2 turns away here, running into some lap traffic, though. Zach Krastowski in danger of going down a lap here. Cam Barnes only a couple more turns here, and this is going to do it for his race. Checkered flag is out. Barney is letting it rip. Congratulations to Cam Barnes on a win here, and an excellent strategy call, especially trying to run him down. But, man, you want to talk about kicking it into the next gear. This guy was rolling. I mean, still the only driver other than Darrell Harris, which Harris was able to do it as well, and actually had a faster time than Cam Barnes out there of a 30.78.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a blazing time. And you notice how Cam Barnes did not lift. Some guys, when they head around the turns, come completely off the gas there. And then they let the car slow down. It sounded like it was only about a 25% lift, and he was still in it. So Cam Barnes using it to the best of his advantage there. And that worked out very, very well for him tonight. Excellent job here by Cam Barnes. I've got to say, taking a look at some of this race out here tonight at the Nickelodeon 200, this was awesome. And Darrell Harris coming away with 3rd place. That's eye-opening when the track and the drivers start to shift out there and definitely make the best of the race. So let's take a look at where all our drivers finished. Very, very close. Hate seeing Ingram go out so early, though. Alrighty. Hold on, guys. We'll reel our top 3 guys in. We'll talk to them.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We're catching up with our third place finisher, Daryl Harris. And Daryl, I must say, what a race overall. Tell us, how was your race overall?
It was pretty good. Our number 9 Bombardier Chevrolet was flying out there. New tires, old tires. It was really good. We had the middle stint on the tire run that it just got really tight. But once that initial phase burnt off, and I backed up the corners well enough. We were pretty quick. So I was running lap times comparable to the top 3, top 4, and yeah, it was a heck of a battle of attrition and just on track too. So a lot of fun.
I tell you what, it was definitely a strategy call from some of the drivers tonight. I don't know if there was an specific strategy that you had planned throughout your entire race. Tell us, was it a strategy call on your end to get a podium position?
We were crunching the numbers that entire second run before our last stop there. Dad was on the box. We were running numbers, seeing if, are we going to go with, split in half? We're going to run long. And I ended up just thinking, okay, well, we're safe running with Cam and with Kerry there. So whatever they did, I'd follow. And it was a really good try from Luke there. He managed to make that strategy work. I wasn't sure how that turned out, but I thought about following him, but I thought, no, I'll just play with what's safe and go from there.
Definitely a good finish for you tonight, and the strategy did play into factor for this, and you got a podium position from it. We leave Chicagoland behind, and next week I believe we are going to Iowa. Tell us, how you feeling going into that track?
Statistically, we've been pretty good at Iowa. Last time out was a little rough, but the first, I think one of the ones last season, we figured it out pretty well, and we got like a top 5 or just outside of it. So if we can figure that out again early on next week, then we should have a shot at another good finish. I wouldn't quite say a podium, or I'd hope a top 5, but hopefully one that's a good point stay, and we need those because I think we're still on the outside looking in for the chase. So,
Daryl, give us your shout outs.
Firstly, I want to thank Turn Left Racing Team, Zach Krastowski, everybody that's given me the opportunity to race for them. It's been a great 4 seasons. We're hoping to roll into next season doing the same. Bombardier, there's Thornton's, Western Star Trucks, Subaki, Procore. I'm trying to think, Crunchyroll. I'm trying to think of other Skechers. All the partners that make this possible and make these cars go as fast as we had tonight.
Definitely a fast car you had tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Daryl Harris, your third place finisher. Once again, congratulations on the podium position. And Patrick, we'll take it up back to you. I'm pretty sure you're catching up to our second place finisher.
All righty, man. Definitely an excellent job here that we saw there by Luke Smith. 39 machine. Man, I swear, if I think if a caution had come out, you might have had a chance or change up that strategy a little bit out here, but we lost it, man, with just about 10 laps left to go. Talk to me about this final run.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. Cam ran a perfect strategy there at the end because my hope was that they stayed out about another 5 laps because I noticed at the end of the previous run that they had kind of leveled out with me, and I was like, well, they'll level out with me, and if they get to me, they're gonna have a heck of a time trying to pass me. But for the last run, I was saving tires as soon as I came out, and I was trying to run fast while saving tires, and then he came out of the pits, and I heard that he ran a 30.8, and I was like, I'm done. I'm cooked here because I knew he was gonna catch me. I didn't know if he'd have enough to pass me once he got to me, but he had plenty and then some.
Boy, it would have been an idea if you had hung out another 5 to 10 laps before you had to come down pit, or were we too close on fuel?
I could have, but I could have done that, and I was thinking about doing that because I noticed that they had leveled out, and I was thinking, just come down with them at about the same time and do all that. But then in my head, I was like, well, if I can pit now and then they stay out another 5 to 10 laps, then I can just drive away, and then by the time they catch me, they'll have absolutely nothing left for me. But it didn't play out in my hands, but I mean, those guys ran flawless. They came down on that caution, and I stayed out, and I thought I had a good strategy, but Cam turned out to have a little bit better one.
That's all right, man. If you go back and take a look at the broadcast, we take a ride along with Cam Barnes there, and you'll see why. He started running some of the fastest laps of his night, almost 3 or 4 tenths faster than anybody else on the track. So he had a little extra in the storage tank out there to run you guys down. But how do you combat that when we move on to Iowa or a track like that? Are we gonna be able to run away from him then, or is this gonna be the bridesmaid and not the bride here?
Well, going to Iowa, I feel like that's one of my better tracks. I feel like every time we go there, I'm really good at it, and I feel like I might have a chance to run away with that one. And even if I don't, I'll still have a heck of a time doing it. Like I had tonight, I had a heck of a time tonight, and you know, I'm really good at saving the tires on the top lane there, but I don't know, we'll see.
All righty, man. Danny Phantom Scheme, your favorite cartoon?
It was one of them. There was a lot that I liked from Nickelodeon. It's pretty much all I watched as a kid.
Ah, so that's when they were good, huh? All right, man. Shout out time.
First off, I want to shout out Cam. He ran a phenomenal race. He outclassed me there at the end, and I ain't afraid to say it. Like to thank John Peterson and I believe it was Zach Webster that I think it was Zach Webster that helped make the template for my car. I don't know, it was a Zach. But the car, Zach Krastowski helped make it. Fantastic car. It was beautiful. I'd like to shout out you guys for the broadcast. It's fantastic. And I'd like to call out Ryan Johnson for not showing up to this week's race.
Attaboy. Attaboy. Run them down. Try to figure out where the heck everybody else went as well. I want more than 13 here at Iowa, and we'll leave you to it there, Luke Smith. Congratulations on the second place finish, and we'll see your Chevrolet at next race.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to be Luke Smith moving us on to our leader and winner here of Cam Barnes. Cam, what a race you had here, dude. That thing was on fire here in the last stint.
Yeah, I don't know what happened after that little caution there with a couple of those guys stayed out. It was on rails. I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know. It was good. It was a good car, that's for sure. Had SpongeBob on it, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy when they were on the back there. But I'm talking about this final pit stop. You took back on, I believe it was 105, 104, and we took a ride along with you, and that thing looked like if you let go of the wheel, it would have driven itself. That thing was flying around the track, and even your best time out there of a 30.87, the only person that was faster than you was Daryl Harris, but consistently it was you at the 30.87 out there where you had beaten anybody's time out there by 0.3 of a second. There seemed to be a little more in the tank out there for you.
Yeah, I don't know what track conditions were changing there, but it seems like the track really gripped up there at the end, and just yeah, it was a lot of fun chasing down those guys that were out there saving and on a different strategy than us. I wish some of the guys didn't follow me down pit road, so I could have, had all the advantage to myself for a little bit longer, but not having to worry about anybody behind. But yeah, just really took it easy. Car was as fast as USORL 10G, so yeah, we're gonna go to the next one. Hopefully, repeat. Needed something big to happen this season, and need to defend the title a little bit better now. So it's a
All right.
step in the right direction.
Yeah, step in the right direction. We chisel your name into the, I would say, almost the previous winner Hall of Fame here at Chicagoland. You guys seem to race here quite often. We're up to at least 8 times you two guys have been here, only missing season 5. And it looks like you finally get to put your name out there and come in for a win here. What was the hardest part of this, and how? And what do you look forward to at Iowa next week?
I mean, the hardest part of this was just learning not to burn your stuff up too soon, especially in those long runs. And only 3 sets, we had to really think about when we would take them. That's kind of why those guys stayed out under that one yellow. Didn't think it was worth it. Just came in topped off for myself, and ended up being the right call. Was very happy with that. Car was really, really planted all night, really after halfway. So, yeah, I'm really happy. As terms of Iowa, I don't know. Just going to go out there and drive the car and see what happens, I guess. I don't know. I'm never really been a fan of the cornfields, so we'll see.
All right, man. Shout out for the sponsors and the people out here watching you.
Thanks to the JPR boys and all the people that raced tonight. Hopefully we can get some more guys and gals in. I know there's a lot of people that have been kind of interested recently, so yeah, hopefully this will kickstart the season. So appreciate you guys, what you guys do in the booth. I know you guys probably don't get as much shout outs as you should, but yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Not bad, buddy. Not bad. Cam Barnes, congratulations on your win, buddy. And we'll see how you do in the upcoming weeks.
Thank you, sir.
All righty. Cam Barnes, excellent job up there. Definitely doing a stellar job, especially right here at the end. What a way to kick it off there at Chicagoland for the Nickelodeon 200. Boy, what a race this was. This moves us on to Iowa of next week, which should be an interesting race. Some are... You see Cam Barnes isn't a very big fan there of Iowa, but everybody else, like Luke Smith and Daryl Harris, they don't seem too worried about it at all, but they're going to go out there and give it their best. Not bad by all 3 Chevrolets coming in the top 3 here tonight. Douglas, anything left to add?
Oh, we leave Chicagoland behind us. We move on to Iowa. Let's do this.
All right, well, that should be a good race here, and I definitely can't wait to see how that one plays out, but that's going to do it for us here at SimTrack Broadcast and bring you the USORL series. And until next time, when we see you at Nora on Tuesday, be well, be safe, be kind, and we'll see all y'all next time.